Hare Krishna. Happiness comes not by collecting the material, but by recollecting the spiritual. We live in a materialistic culture whose incessant and aggressive propaganda is buy this, get that, capture that, and then you'll be happy. We are driven to get newer and newer things, more and more things. And we are made to believe, almost indoctrinated to believe by all the advertisements that are there in the televisions, on the billboards, in the magazines and books. They all promote things, and they make almost all advertisements are accompanied with smiling faces. And life often doesn't give us many reasons to smile. So we hope that by getting those products, we will get some smiles, we'll become happy. And as we chase the products. So unfortunately, this chasing results only in more chasing. It doesn't lead to truly gaining or becoming satisfied. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna talks about the ungodly, he tells the mentality, idamadhyamaya labdham, imam prapse manoratham, idamasti idamapi me, bhavishyati punardhanam, idamadhyamaya labdham, this much I have attained now. Imam prapse manoratham, and by my scheme, by manoratha, by riding on the chariot of the mind, prapse, this I will get. Imam prapse, idam asti idam api me. Now this much I have accumulated. Bhavishyati punardhanam, and in the future I will get more and more wealth. So here the mentality of the ungodly in terms of being perpetually possessive for wealth, for money and the things that money can buy, that is depicted. Unfortunately, what is the result? Krishna describes that in later verses. Aneka chitta vibhranta mohajala samavritaha prasaktaha kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. This was the earlier verse 16.13, this is 16.16. Krishna says, Aneka chitta vibhranta, the consciousness is dragged and ripped in different directions. Mohajala samavritaha, the person is trapped in illusion. Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu, and is being attached to enjoyment. Patanti narakeshu chau, the person gets tremendous, makes life hellish and gets tremendous suffering. So anxieties rip us apart. Now, the solution is actually to recognize where is happiness. Now, the Bhagavad Gita explains that we are souls. As souls, our very nature is Sachit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. We are eternal, we are conscious, and we are blissful. So Ananda is a part of our spiritual nature itself. And to the extent we come to the spiritual level of reality, to that extent we can experience this happiness. Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita in 18.54, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kangshati. Is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. If you come to the spiritual level of reality, na shochati na kangshati. There will be no more lamentation, there will be no more craving. There will be no more lamenting or hankering. We lament for what we have lost and we crave, hanker for what we don't have. Basically both are phases of material obsession. That means we are still caught in the definition of success, definition of happiness in terms of getting this materially or not getting that materially, or losing that. We're conceiving happiness as getting things and distress as losing things. But when we come to the Brahma Bhuta platform, when we understand our spiritual nature, then we realize happiness becomes our natural state of being. It doesn't depend on anything external. So we can all attain this state by the steady practice of bhakti, because bhakti takes us to the spiritual level of consciousness rapidly. And that's what Krishna talks about in this Vad Bhakti Labhate Param. And in the previous, he says that bhakti is for those who strive from the impersonal path, bhakti is what they come to after they come to the spiritual realization. But in the next two verses later, from 18.56, he says says that whatever situation you are in, from there itself you can start practicing bhakti. Sarva karmanyaphi sada kurvano madvyapashrayah mat prasadadavapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Sarva karmanyaphi sada, whatever be the situation one is at, whatever work one may be doing, from there itself one can practice bhakti, take shelter of Krishna and attain the supreme destination. So recollecting the spiritual means both recollecting our own spiritual identity as souls, and well, that can also lead to our realizing our joyful nature. A much easier way is recollecting the object of love, the all-attractive Supreme Krishna, because the soul is quite a difficult conception to contemplate. What do we contemplate about the soul? That it is achintya, that is achedya, yamadaha, yoyam, akledya, shoshevacha, that it cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt. It's such attributes. How long can we contemplate such attributes? But contemplating on Krishna makes things much easier and faster for us. It's much more easier and it's much more joyful. So spiritual meditation, by recollecting the spiritual, that means by recollecting Krishna, we can experience our own joyful nature. We can experience our loving connection with Krishna, who is the supreme source of all joy, and thus we can find real, lasting, fulfilling happiness. Thank you. Hare Krishna.